what we're doing at this stage is myself, Kaicho Malcolm Anderson, and Dai-Tasshi Branko are running through the different requirements from 9th Q to black belt Shodan Ho. At this stage we're going to go through the traditional basic moves of basic punches, basic blocks, basic stances. Then we'll work our way through to the individual grade requirements. We're going to start off first of all with basic strikes. This will be all the strikes to black belt. You will look at your individual grade requirements and see which ones you need. First of all, we will start with Jodan Suki, strike to the head. Starting out with the left hand in position, and then we will be alternating. You will be striking with your arm coming straight with the elbows not hooking, arms rubbing against the body. You will be striking with the circa knuckles to the bridge of your own nose. That is from the frontal position. Now from side on, you'll see that the knuckles are in line with your own nose. You're in Hekadachi, shoulder width stance, knees bent. Once again, striking. Elbows not hooking, going in a straight line. That is Jodan Suki. Now we will do Chudan Suki, striking. Same principle, but to the center of your own solar plexus. Noticing once again that the elbows are not hooking, coming out straight line. And also side on, so you can get the level in line with your own solar plexus. Some people strike a bit high to the chest or a bit low to the abdomen, but solar plexus. Next strike, Gaidan Suki, which is striking just below the belt, probably 2 inches below the belly button. Jodan upper, Chudan middle, Gaidan lower, Gaidan Suki. Next strike, Shita Suki, short rip strike. Once again, only travels until the elbow just starts to leave the body, 1 fist distance away from the body, not overextended. While you're striking with one, you're doing a reverse elbow with the other. Very good in close quarter technique. Shita Suki. You'll see, once again, the elbow only 1 fist distance away from the body, so you do not overextend with this one. Next strike, Sai Ura Uch, side fist strike. Once again, short close combat technique. Striking out to the bridge of the nose and back in a whipping motion. Very effective close range technique. Side on once again, whip strike, side fist, bridge of the nose. Next strike, Uraken. Picking anyone up in the arc from frontal to completely beside you, striking to the side of the jaw. Hand to strike goes to the bottom. Top hand strikes goes to the bottom. Using a whipping action. Good multi-angle self-defense technique, Urakan, which appears in our kata Nahanshin. Next strike, Tetsui. Tetsui is striking with the side fist. There's a few variations of this. Striking, winding up, striking down onto the bridge of the nose, as used in full Shodan kata, Saifa. Striking straight forward. Once again, hitting with the side fist in line with your own jaw. Very powerful strike, especially if you have injuries to knuckles. Striking out and around. Tetsui. So there's a few variations of this Tetsui. Next technique we have called Shuto. Shuto is open hand technique, hitting with the blade of the hand. Once again, different variations. Striking down on top of the collarbone or down on top of the back of the neck. Shuto. Striking to the carotid artery. Once again, hitting with the knife hand. Down near the palm heel side, not up near the fingers. Side shuto, once again, variation, blocking and striking to the carotid artery. They are the basic strikes to black belt. We will now go through basic defensive blocks. First block, upper block, Jodan Uke. Deflecting first of all with the forearm, the Soto Uke, simultaneously coming to the outside, blocking above the head. Arm on a 45-degree angle, so any weapon that it hits will deflect off. Once again, forearm blocking, blocking above the head. Must cover both sides of the head and must be on a 45. Next block, Chudan Uke. Center block. Once again, the forearm deflecting, opposite hand taking it away. Important to block first of all, to deflect the block, then put the person on a displacement angle that you would pick up with a self-defense strike. Stopping the person from punching or stabbing us, deflecting, displacing, elbow 1 fist distance away from the body, knuckles in line with the shoulder. Some people get the elbows too far away or too close. Forearm block, center block. Very good example. Gaidan Uke, lower block. First of all, deflecting away, blocking down. Deflecting away, blocking down. Deflecting, blocking down. Deflecting, covering the face. At this stage, if anybody's grabbing the arm or the wrist, as it goes past, we're taking that grip off us. Gaidan Uke. Cross and roll. Next one, Soto Uke. Soto Uke is the basis of most of our blocks. It is a major deflecting or displacement block. Bit different to Chudan. Chudan square and stays in line with the center of the body. Here we use a 45-degree pivot. We are using our hips to push the person off guard. The forearm will come across, so there's a complete deflection away from the body. So there is 1 fist distance away from the body, full body twist, full deflection. Very effective blocking system. Obviously, you would come back with the twist of the wrist and the twist of the waist with a counter strike. Gaidan Uke. Gaidan a bit different to Hare. Hare is blocking in front of the groin. Gaidan comes further outside the thigh, is actually in most cases taking a kick away. Blocking, taking out. Blocking away with the Tetsui part of the hand. So the only difference with the Hare and the Gaidan is Hare protects in front of the groin. Gaidan is more a deflection to stop kicks. Kake Uke. Kake Uke is our first of our open hand techniques. Once again, 1 fist distance away from the body, thumb in line with the outside of the shoulder. If you were to close your hand and open it up, it would end up in Chudan Uke position. Hands on a 45. Once again, we are blocking, deflecting with the first hand. Then we are deflecting and displacing using our leverage to pull the person down. We could be pulling them down with the opposite hand. So we've got a deflecting hand and a displacing hand that could be pulling them down into knees, elbows, whatever. But the most important part is blocking, searching, deflecting. Mawashi Uke. Mawashi Uke is a blocking system. All our punches, all our blocks are somewhere within these two circles. One's doing a small circle inside the body line from your pec back to your pec. The other side's doing the big circle up from your hip back to your hip. Then they work simultaneously. Where they start is where they finish. They must come back and show the palm heels. That is purely the blocking system of mawashi. Then we do the extension into the Haito and the blade hand, pushing forward, and extension. Once again, we'll show you the block, the mawashi, the blades, the palm heels, and extension. What we're doing here is a fairly advanced standard of the mawashi block. A basic one would be just around and just push the palm heel straight out and tilt. The advanced stage is we show all the wrist rolls, the mawashis, the knife hands, the palm heels, and the extensions. Your individual instructors will show you the different levels of this block. That's mawashi uke, circular blocking system. We will now go through the stances. We'll go for the basic stance. We've got now is what we call hekodachi, shoulder width stance. So it means the outside of the feet are in line with the outside of the shoulders. 50-50 stance, low center of gravity, thumb and knuckles against the seam of the pants, circa knuckles facing down. Center control of balance. We'll now do which we call our attention stance, which we use to come into position for kata, masubidachi. Front foot 45 and slides in. We turn the right foot first, 45 degrees, left foot slides in. Back to hekodachi, right foot turns 45, left foot slides in to masubidachi. Now we'll walk our way forward. Coming forward, the next stance is what we call kendo dachi, which we use in the art of kendo. This is same thing, shoulder width stance, heel and toe in line, 50-50. Kendo stance. Back heel, front heel in line with the back toe, shoulder width stance. Now, to move this, so once again, side on position, you'll see where the front heel is in line with the back toes. 50-50 stance, kendo dachi. The next progression from this stance would be, you go into kendo stance where the heel and toe is in line, you turn the front foot 45 degrees in, which will put your hips on a bit of an angle. You must then square the back hips back to the toes of the front foot, which we call san shindachi. Once again, it's important that the back heel is in line with the front toe, so you virtually walk into kendo stance, turn your front foot in 45, but then you must square those hips back. San shin dachi. Very good grappling stance. Next stance we move in is to hanzen kuchadachi, half stance. So it's a bit deeper. Kendo's heel and toe in line. In this situation, it's probably 12 inches difference between the back toes and the front heel. This is a 60-40 stance. This is a stance we use a lot to throw our kicks from. 60% of our weight on our front leg, 40% of our weight. So we've got the power supply on the front thigh so we can propel kicks off the back leg. Hanzen, basically kendo, heel and toe in line. In this situation, 12 inches deeper, front knee bent, 60%, power supply to throw kicks forward. From that stance, we now move into the full deep lunge stance, Zen Kutsadachi. It's important here that both feet are straight. There's a tendency to turn the back foot on a 45-degree angle to get depth of stance. But there is a side-on bad balance structure there. So what we need to do is to get that back foot straight, both feet straight, front knee bent covering the toes. This is a 70-30 stance, still shoulder width. 70% of the weight's on the front leg, back leg is locked. The knee is actually locked here. This is a stabilising stance to stop people from forcing you backwards. So it's a very stable stance. Then Kutadach. We now will do Shikordach, which is our squatting stance. Both feet 45 degrees, knees pushed out. Tendency once again to let the knees push forward, which is a bad balance position. Must push knees out, back straight, low centre of gravity. The channel of power is where the hands are pointing now directly towards the camera. In comparison to if the person was on a 90-degree angle, then the power supply would be that angle. So you must have a channel of energy. This is very good for grappling, for throwing, picking people up, dumping. Very powerful. Sumos use it a lot. But you must be aware of where the channel of energy is and that you do have a low centre of gravity. The last stance we will use is called Nekawashidachi. You will see the Dai-Tasshi will actually step back. This is actually a counter move. You could actually be in a Shikodachi stance, 45 degrees. So we'll go into a Shikodachi. He now feels an opponent coming in on him. He will move back into a counter position which allows the front foot to float to pick people up as they come barging into either a groin kick or a Maigeri. Back foot 45 degrees, front foot up on the ball of the foot, just floating. Hasn't been used for a long time, this stance. It's not good as an attacking stance, but it's a very good counter stance. So once again, from side on, you'll see Dai-Tasshi in Shikodachi squatting stance. Someone forces in on him, he floats back and picks him up with the front foot Maigeri. Was used a lot by a Hanshi Noel, very good counter fighting stance. Nekawashidachi. That's the end of the basic stances. We will now go through the basic stances. The first stance we will see here is Hekeldarch, shoulder width stance. Outside of the feet in line with the outside of the shoulders, centre control of balance, knuckles firmly straight in line with the seam of the pants. Hekeldarchi. We will now move into the next one, which is the preparation stance we use for kata, which is Masubadarch. We turn the right foot 45, left foot slides in. Hands work with that. So we step back out to Hekeldarch. As the feet move, front foot moves, hands come up, feet slide with the hands, come back. That is Masubadarch. Then we break. Then we would break for kata, Hekeldarch, which would begin. We also have a stance at the end of class or the beginning of class to bow in, which is called Haisokodarch. So first of all we will do Masubadarch, sliding with hands and feet. Feet come together. Haisokodarch, at that hands clench, and at that stage you usually bow into class. Bow, and then you would break back to Hekeldarch to begin the class. So we had then Hekeldarch, sliding into Masubadarch, and at the end of the class coming into Haisokodarch. We will now go through basic kicks. First kick is the groin kick, Kingeri, kicking with the instep straight into the groin. High knee, insteps usually 45 coming up in line with the pelvis. Slapping between the legs, hitting into the groin. High lift, snapping technique, out and back. Kingeri. Next kick is called Maigeri, which is the toes are bent back, ball of foot is going into the solar plexus. Once again, the stance is being kicked is thrown from Hanzen, Kutsadach. High knee lift, make sure the foot does not drag up or drag down. It's got a nice lift, straight stab, straight into the solar plexus. Maigeri. Next kick, we're going in the roundhouse motion. Mawashigeri, roundhouse kick. This kick could go to the thigh, could go to the body, could go to the head. Weapons you could use the instep, slapping across the face. You could use the shin as in tie to bust the ribs or the thigh. Sometimes I'll use the ball of the foot, kicking into the ribs. But the roundhouse action is the action, working on the pivot of the support foot. You choose your target and choose the way you will use the weapon. The next kick we're going to use is a side kick. Some call it socketageti, quite a lot call it yokageti. Hitting with the bladed foot, stepping behind to get your balance and your channel of power, driving straight through. Stepping through for power, setting up with the hips, unwinding the hips, driving through. You can either hit with the heel or the bladed foot. Once again, you can kick to the ribs or the head. Free-flowing motion. Socketa or yokageti. There's also another version of this kick which they call the joint kick, which is kensetsugeti, which is lifting high, kicking 45 degrees through the kneecap. Is used a lot in self-defense application. We could put together a variation here where Dai-Tasshi will do a kake block, blocking someone coming at them, grabbing a hold of their arm, kicking 45 degrees through the kneecap. Used a lot in self-defense, yaksu, also in a lot of the advanced katas. Kensetsugeti. There's also, which we call inside crescent kick, outside crescent kick. In this case, we're hitting with the inside of the foot. Is used sometimes to knock a stick or weapon out of the person's hand. Then we've also got the outside crescent. Once again, to deflect the hand or the body, smashing into the shoulders, or going up over the shoulders, striking to the side of the jaw. Another kick we have now is what we call the back kick, ushirageti. So we'll do this one side on. The kick you're going to kick with, that leg will be in front, and you'll be kicking straight behind you. Ushirageti. Ushirageti, back kick. Ushirageti, back kick. The way this would work is someone might come from the front. You will hit them with a front punch. So we'll do this side on. Person from the front with a front punch. Person from the right leg side with a joint kick. Kensetsugeti. Someone from behind with the ushirageti, the back kick. The whole purpose of using the multiple angles here. Punch, 45, back kick, person on the opposite side, the left side with a back fist. Urakan. So that's just a short breakdown of putting combinations together. Later on, you will see on different variations of the grading certificate, they will get you to do multiples of these. So they will get you to do one stance moving with one punch, one stance moving with one kick, one stance moving with one block. And then as you progress, it'll be one stance moving forward with a block, into a punch, into a kick, where we start to get into our multiple combinations. From these basic procedures you have seen now, you can now start to add them together. The most important thing at this stage is that you do understand exact discipline of movement. Every one of these blocks, stances, kicks are exact in the movement, exact balance, exact procedure where the feet are. What happens is people do not do these movements correct, add them, get together into kata, and end up with a bad kata. So for you to eventually end up with good movement of kata, you must make sure that every one of these individual basics are perfect. These are the basic fundamental tools that we build everything into. We'll leave it at this stage now.